What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of In This Very Ring, right here live on A2D Radio. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Thank you for joining me this evening. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. I am the man they call Ritz. Pete Evans will be along in just a few moments. But first, we want to thank our sponsor for the evening, Allen Z Travel. Allen Z Travel specializes in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts, including yours truly, create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. Alonzi on over to alonz-travel.com/take the trip to get in touch with myself, Chucks, or any of the other talented travel agents at Alonzi Travel. All right, Pete is here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring him in just a few seconds late.
That's right. No butters this week.
Yeah, no, but I had that epiphany about like 5:30, 6 o'clock this afternoon. I was like, oh my God, you're not on with us tonight, are you? And he's like, no, I told you that last week. I was like, I wasn't paying attention. But I have to be completely honest with you. All right, so we've got WWE Fastlane we're talking about tonight. That's going to be the big bulk of the show, as that is tomorrow. We'll touch a little bit on NXT, No Mercy, and WrestleDream later on in the evening. We will definitely talk about Edge showing up on AEW as well. But let's get right into the poll question. Our topic of conversation today, brought to you by our friends at Hats.com. In 2018, Eagles legend Brian Dawkins was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. To commemorate this moment, B-Doc designed and launched an exclusive collaboration with Bowman Hat Company, America's oldest hat maker, on Hats.com. Brian's love for the Eagles and hats were proudly on display in Canton, and now you can find yourself in that same iconic Hall of Fame fedora. Just go to Hats.com and search Brian Dawkins and use the code Philly for 15% off your order. We thank Hats.com for sponsoring this portion of In This Very Ring. If I can find the right overlay. Aha. There it is. Yes, and I do have the Eagle shirt because all my other shirts are getting packed for my Disney trip tomorrow.
How long are you in Disney for?
I leave tomorrow. I don't come back until I'll get home like really, really late, the 14th, almost the 15th. And so then I'll be back to work on all platforms on the 16th. So it's a well-deserved week off.
Little R&R never hurt.
Yes, you won't hear from me. I won't exist.
You unplugging?
Yeah, I'm so unplugging, dude. Like, the only thing I'll do is I'll do like Disney content because I'll actually be there for my travel agency side of things. But I'm unplugging from everything.
Good on you, bro.
Yeah, man. It's exciting. Today's topic is Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso will capture the tag team championships tomorrow night at Fastlane. They are in a tag team match against Finn Balor and Damien Priest. Sounds like they're going to cap things off. We saw the big brawl at the end of SmackDown involving the Judgment Day and Jey Uso, because if you notice, Paul pulled Solo down right before the brawl took place with Jimmy, Cody, Cena, and LA Knight. What do you think, Pete? Who's taking this one?
Well, before we do that, shout out to Ryan Swope, who's a regular on the A2D platform. But, I mean, he called you the pride of Levittown, sir. Like, of
yeah,
Levittown.
I don't. Levittown.
That's
I don't.
A very heavy weight to carry.
It is. I don't know if I like it. I honestly don't know if I like it.
Like, it's almost like you should get a key to the city or something, brother.
I don't know if I want that, though.
I mean, heavy is the head that wears the crown, brother.
Well, and I guess here's why, right? Like, I'm all about Ryan coming in here and showing the love and all that. I don't need to be put on a pedestal or anything like that. I don't need you to reference like where I'm from, right? Like just let's stick with the wrestling. Show the love. Let's talk about the wrestling. I don't need to be put on that pedestal, right? I'm not bigger than any other personality here at the company. And you know, I don't want to call back to that part of my life as much as I used to. So like,
Here's the thing. I'll give you that, and I wholeheartedly I agree with you to a certain extent. When someone else puts you on that pedestal, even if you don't want to be on, then you know.
I appreciate it. Like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. I really, really do.
You don't think that highly of yourself in that manner to be I before the team.
Yeah, I'll never be the I before the team. It's always going to be the team first, and that's kind of been really prevalent the last few weeks. But the hell is that noise?
I have no idea what you have going on. Shout out to Tom Arnone.
Take care of some chats. There's a noise in here.
Safe travels. Shout out to the Arnone family. Definitely gonna need your thoughts and prayers. I won't get into details, but yeah. Listen, man, I disagree to the poll, and the reason I disagree to the poll is because they don't need them. The story is elevated itself. They don't need the titles. Cody and if you put the titles on them tomorrow night, it convolutes and makes
it feels really weird. I gotta turn this thing. I'm sorry. My air conditioner unit is making some weird noise.
Oh, definitely want to turn it off before it gives out, because I don't know what the temperature in Texas is, but today,
it's not
Jersey was almost 80 degrees.
It's not the central AC. Because we had the central AC go out a couple years ago. I bought a window unit.
Okay.
And it's making a weird noise. I don't know. Thank God I go on vacation tomorrow.
But no, I have to disagree just because I don't think that they need the titles, and I think if they do put them on them, it makes the story more complex. And I think, as we saw tonight, the way that the booking is going to elevate the Judgment Day on the same level of the Bloodline, they need the straps more than Cody and Jimmy. Let Cody and Jimmy chase. That's a very good story, because if you really don't have anything going on for them individually, you can kind of have them team up, and then everybody else come around in the Raw locker room and see that Jimmy is there. And maybe next is Sammy and KO, whatever they want to do. I just feel as if Cody and Jimmy don't need it. It's a tag. How many times have we said it's a tag team thrown together? It's two singles thrown together, and then if this was under Vince, I would probably put better than a 75% chance that Cody and Jimmy is walking out with the straps. But under Trips, I don't think it's the same. You know, I don't want to see two single stars who had nothing else better to do come to each other's aid, and all of a sudden they're the tag team champions. This isn't that. You know what I mean? So,
well, and so I like a lot of what you said. And after tonight, we've teased it a lot on this program,
right?
Where we've talked about, you know, what's Survivor Series going to look like? Are we going to get Survivor Series War Games? Are we going to get traditional Survivor Series? You know, and no matter what you do, you could see a team of the Bloodline and the Judgment Day together. But then after tonight, I could also see the Bloodline versus the Judgment Day.
Right.
I'm really torn here. First of all, I'm really glad we didn't go with Butter's suggestion, because he said that Roman Reigns will return at Fastlane, and Roman's returning next week. Right. So worked out for us. But I'm really torn here, because part of me wants to see them win. Mm-hmm. Because anytime you put a title on a
you
tag
really want
team,
the first title.
Well, see, that's where I'm torn.
Right.
That's what's got me so torn. When you put a title on somebody, and especially a tag team kind of thrown together like this, right, statistically, we've seen pretty good success. We don't like it because there are other teams more deserving, but we've statistically seen some pretty good success. Whereas here, this would be Cody's first title defense. I mean, title win in WWE. I don't want it to be the tag title,
right?
Because that doesn't do it. It's not an individual title. When there are so many other things you could do. You could do the United States title. You could do, he could be the one to topple Gunther. So many other things. But you're also positioning him for a main title run, and now we've kind of filtered off. Lynch here, strap season, but please let Judgment Day breathe. Jimmy and Cody don't need straps. I don't disagree with that statement either. I don't think they need them.
Right. And it's always, and here's the thing, like what you said, it would be nice to see them win them. That's what, if you feel like that, and that's a very initial thought at the front of your mind, that means they're doing their job. Like they are the faces. You want to see the good guys win. You want to see the good guys triumph over the heels, right? Over the bad guys. That's a natural human reaction, right?
Well, and then when you take that a step,
not, then you're a psychopath if you don't. So
also that. But then when you take that a step further and you look at the fact that you still have a little bit of inner faction drama, I guess you could say.
Yeah, with
in
Priest
the
and JD,
Judgment Day.
Yeah.
With Priest and JD, and then even Priest kind of throwing Dom under the bus last week.
Almost like they're making the exit for Damien.
Yeah, they're and I'm liking that. I'm liking how they're kind of getting ready to break Damien off and let him go on his own. So them losing the titles, especially if Balor's the one to take the pin, which that hurts my heart to say because I'm such a Balor fan. But for Balor to take the pin, that opens a big door. And now they're kind of positioning Rhea, they have been positioning Rhea as this Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns hybrid kind of character.
She's going to be Griselda Blanco.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like but here's the thing, right? And this is what I would say this about Trips ever since under creative. He very rarely takes the low-hanging fruit or the easy way out. Everything you said to me about getting Damien out sounds cliche-ish and it sounds easy. The storytelling is harder and more complex if they win and have the straps and Damien still is kicked out, because once again, I do think they will kick in that Freebird rule. I do think they'll kick in where, okay, Damien's out, JD, you're in. Now you and Finn are the champions until whatever, right? And that elevates JD. JD's already elevated just by being tonight. That visual of all five of them together for that particular moment, that was a strong visual, right?
Very much so.
So you have that, and JD's already getting that rub. So I don't know, but just going based off of the tendencies of what we've seen from creators thus far under the Triple H regime, I should say, is the complex long-term storytelling is of the utmost virtue, right? Of the utmost importance. They don't do things just to do things. How many times, if you just look at this year alone, and you look at the Undisputed Universal WWE title, how many times had the internet wrestling community, the WWE universe wanted Reigns to drop it? Elimination Chamber.
Every time he's defended it.
Almost right. Every time he's defended it, they haven't pulled that trigger yet. They haven't made that call. Right? So he's not in it. We're not in it for the short term.
And you hit a very, very big point there. It's multi-layered storytelling.
Right.
This is the most complex storytelling that WWE's done in a while, in my opinion. And to go one step further, we sit here and we do these preview and prediction shows and we do these recap shows and we talk about it week to week. And 6 months ago, I could have told you exactly what they were going to do, how it was going to play out, and I was pretty damn close when it was all said and done. Now I'm like, well, they could do this. they could do this or they could do this, and it makes it fun again.
Yep.
It makes it. Could you imagine if we would have had this kind of storytelling during the Attitude Era,
with the players, with the talent that they had at that time,
and the people on the mic and everything like that?
Yeah, it would have been more difficult because I think the fan base at that time wanted more instant satisfaction.
Oh, 100% they did, which is
But
hysterical.
also,
because
it was instant satisfaction from the standpoint that you were a fan of the WWE at that time, but you couldn't follow. You didn't know everything that was going on. There was still kayfabe back then.
Yep.
Because there wasn't cameras. You didn't have social media to this point. To where now you can't really, there's kayfabe all over the place. People know the lies of who these performers are off screen, right? So it's the storytelling has to be more complex. The storytelling has to be more developed and have more layers to it, right? So from that standpoint, man, dude, you're right. There's no more fantasy booking with the W. Here, we're sitting here hypothesizing and probably have a 33.333% chance of getting it right.
But I think it is fantasy booking at this point, though. Because,
but it's true fantasy booking.
Yeah, like you say, there's no more, and I'll disagree. I think you misspoke.
Poor choice of words on my part.
Right, but this is like it couldn't be more accurate of a description, because you could have a way. Like if I said to you, "All right, take Cody Rhodes and book him through the rest of the year," and then I could do it, and then this man right here, the mayor of Toasty Town, making a surprise appearance.
What's up? This guy is amazing.
He's a problem. But we're gonna have you weigh in where you're at and everything. Let me finish this point though. But like this man here could have a totally different idea of what Cody's gonna do for the rest of the year, right? This is what I love, is we're not all having the same ideas. We may have some comparisons, right? But we all are gonna have something different. So first things first, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Our co-host every single week, the mayor of Toasty Town, the one they call Butters.
What's up?
Obviously, you're not here with me in this very ring studio. Where are you right now?
Right now, I'm at the card shop.
Helpful. What card shop? Plug it a little bit, damn it.
I am at Cards and Comics Connection here in Conroe, baby. I just got back into town.
Conroe, Texas.
Since we are going to be at Bedrock City Comic Con this weekend.
Where's that at?
The Stafford Center in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop moving the camera. You're gonna give somebody motion sickness.
Trying not to, fool.
So if you are in the Houston area and you are going to Bedrock City Comic Con, check out the Cards and Comics booth. They have Pavilion. Are you guys running Funkos or Loungeflies this time around?
Loungefly with a little bit of Funko.
There you go. Loungefly.
I don't even know what a Loungefly is.
They're bags.
Okay.
Hold that thought, because we're gonna move into a room and show you.
Oh Lord!
See all those things hanging behind them?
Hold on. There you go. All different types.
Wait, is that a Wolverine X-Men Loungefly?
Yes.
That's amazing.
That is sold to
Oogie Boogie. Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Thor.
I heard a new Jurassic Park reboot trailer came out today.
I don't want to look at it. There's my Mickey Hanukkah bag.
Yep.
That's honestly that. So I'm not a big fan of the Loungeflies or anything like that. There are some really, really cool ones out there. Like I still think to this day, the Falcon one with the wings is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
But I will get that Mickey Mouse Hanukkah bag.
I wonder why.
Right. But anyway, back to it. Butters, what do you think? Cody Rhodes, Jimmy Uso, are they capturing the tag titles this week?
Yes. I do believe they will be capturing the tag titles, mainly to further the storyline of the tension between Kevin Owens and Jey Uso. Yes, you also further the tension between
Hold up, Butters. Don't dance, because that's not the angle that you said. You said the tension of the Judgment Day. What Butters is saying, he's coming in doing a little 15-minute spot, hot tag. And
I didn't get to finish, asshole.
No, I agree with you, Butters. I like that more than what he said.
Yeah, but wait, Butters, is there
I was
more?
going to say, but also to further the dissension in the bloodline that's going on right now.
Do I know my co-host or do I know my co-host?
Are you talking Bloodline or Judgment Day?
I mean, Judgment Day, yes.
I still like the main crux first better than what the Judgment.
Well, yes, you're going to further this tension between Cody and Kevin.
Yep.
I mean, not Cody and Kevin, Jay and Kevin. But at the same time, you're also going to further the dissension and the tension in the Judgment Day that's been going on.
But so to go to the Cody Kevin thing, right? For what though? What is gained by creating this dissension between these two pretty big baby faces? And
well,
that's not me
mostly
being
because
right. That's a legitimate question.
Mostly because Cody brought in the enemy. It doesn't help that you just brought in the enemy. Now all of a sudden you're going for the titles that we just lost and we want back. You're going for my titles.
But so I guess where I'm going with this is, does it make sense to do that?
A little bit, because you can't you really just can't keep going. I guess you'd say the route you're going with the Judgment Day, without, because you need to further some storylines. You're eventually going to get to the point where, Jey Uso is going to be accepted by the entire Raw locker room, by, potentially KO. And then Cody's just going to move over to SmackDown because, you know what? My job is done. Let's move on to the next thing.
Now,
that's fair.
I'll rebuttal that because I don't know if you were watching before you came on. I still think you can do that and not put the straps on them. Ultimately, if they go that route, KO's turning heel again. He's going to snap.
Yeah,
he's going to turn heel again.
Well, that's fine.
And I like that. Or I also said to Ritz earlier that if you don't put the straps on him, you can still have dissension because you can build that dissension with Priest winning the title tomorrow.
Correct. And
then JD stepping in. I don't know if you had a chance to watch SmackDown or if you were doing something else. I know you said you got.
No, I haven't had a chance to watch anything.
So, tonight was the first time we got a visual of all four original members of the Judgment Day walking in behind the scenes, and then JD walks in from the side, and Damien asks, this is kind of the groundwork. Damien asks, why are you here? And then Rhea says, I asked him to be here. So that visual of that 5 with the Easter eggs that they've been laying, how Andy said already that Dom was checked by Damien, kind of almost thrown under the bus. Like, where's your title at? Now, that was another thing too, Ritz. There was no mention of Dom having his title back at all tonight.
Yeah.
Really?
There was no nod. You saw him there with the North American title. There was no congratulations. I think he may have smacked the title a little bit, kind of drew attention, but there was nothing verbally to address that part.
They might do that on Raw because since they're mostly on Raw and they just came to, and they're probably just on SmackDown for one night. Hey, it may come to where, Monday Night Raw, oh, hey, congratulations, you got your title back. Or they may not say anything on Rhea's just like, see, good. You did what I told you to. Now, get back in line.
Because Butters is in the comic book store, I'm not going to. But
there's nobody really around me. I mean,
great. Fuck Don Callis.
But they may acknowledge it on Monday. They may not. It may just be Rhea. Since she gave him the ultimatum on Monday night, it's like, okay, cool. You did your job. Now, get back in line.
To acknowledge you doing your
exactly.
job.
Right. And it's almost like you question mommy twice with the Dom thing. One, that strike 1, strike 2 is tonight. Why are you questioning why JD's there? Even if you win the title, you cash it. Strike 3 is you could do something else and then you're out. Because they played it up so you'll read this, but I'll give you my version of it, how it depicted. Judgment Day, Bloodline comes out, open the show. Judgment Day Bloodline walks back to their locker room. Judgment Day is already in there. I'm going to say all 5 because JD to me is already in the Judgment Day. Pretty much Rhea says, everybody get out. Me and Paul have to talk.
Okay.
So they're positioning her. Maybe Griselda Blanco was not a good example because she was a drug kingpin. So I don't want to say that. But I'm trying to think. You can't say Queen because you already got Queen Charlotte. I don't know what you could refer to her as, the head of the table. Like, you can't say head of the table. I mean, I guess you could just say mommy, like the mommy of WWE. She is that. She's positioned herself on that level because she actually said to Paul Heyman face to face, acknowledge me. Those are the exact words that she used.
It was an intense moment.
That was the exact words that she used. So you're getting that. So what she says goes for the Judgment Day.
Okay.
And at some point, titles or no titles, if she wants you out, it's going to happen. That's the type of stroke.
I was about to say she's positioning herself, positioning herself to be the head of Judgment Day.
To me, she was already the closet head. She's just now becoming the head in name.
They're just not truly acknowledging their leaders, is what it is.
Right. To the point where if you go back to Monday night, she told Dom, "You Tuesday, you win that title,
or you out,
or don't come
home."
Yeah.
It's like you don't come on. And then what happened Tuesday night? We all saw it. They went through every length to get that title back on Dom.
Which I take a little issue with.
Okay.
Right? If you're going to give him an ultimatum on Monday night, you lost your title, go get your title back. 15 of you don't need to go out and help him win the title back.
But notice, though, it took everybody to win that title.
Right. But because then where were you when he lost it?
This is true.
That's true, but here's the thing. When you deal with somebody like that, we've seen this with Roman, is if nobody did help him and he didn't win the title, she's just not going to blame Dom. Ultimately, she's going to blame everybody else too. So it's like one of those things like, she's not only going to be mad at me, she's going to be mad at everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, no, trust me, I get it, right? It's just some of it gets a little convoluted and a little weird. And I'm like, all right, pick what you want them to do.
Right.
You know?
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to step away for a moment. If I can get back on later, I will.
All right. Thanks, Butters.
Thanks for hopping in.
Yes, sir.
All right, that was Butters jumping in to chime in on the poll question. Let's stick with, I mean, we could keep going with this, right? I mean, there's so much to unpack with this, so many different ways you can go with it. And that's such a beautiful thing when it comes to these storylines right now. And I think when it's a perfect transition into John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline versus Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. We know that Roman is going to be on SmackDown next week. Right? So on that, who do you think is going to win?
It depends on how fast they want to get to LA Knight versus Roman.
Because I see, and that's where I'm going with it. Because I literally can see Roman come out to the ring. I don't know what city they're in, but he'll go, acknowledge me, and all you hear is, let me talk to you.
Right. So they're in Tulsa, Oklahoma next week.
Okay.
Now, but from what I've seen, I think they have. Do they have a Saudi show coming up?
Let's look.
That's contagious.
Oh man, it's been a long.
I think they do. I think there's a Saudi show.
Yeah, November 4th.
Before SummerSlam, before Survivor Series.
Yeah, November 4th is Crown Jewel.
So that Crown Jewel, the rumor is now, because it was going to be AJ, that they're going to try to do Cena Roman 3. If they're trying to do Cena Roman 3, then I think that Jimmy and Solo go over, because you're not going to rush LA versus Roman in a loss after they lost the night before.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I think it's Jimmy. I think it's Jimmy and Solo. That would be my my guess, in my opinion. And that's what, if they're going that route, that's what should happen, in my opinion.
I don't know. I kind of want to go with Cena and Knight. You don't bring
as
Cena
you should
back.
do because they are the faces. You
Well, not even that, right? You don't bring Cena back.
right.
You don't put Cena with arguably the third hottest person on the roster, right? In terms of just how over like Rover this guy is,
Right.
and then have these guys lose.
Depends on how they lose, though.
Now, right? No, I agree. But let's assume for just a second it's a clean finish. You don't have them lose to, I'm sorry, the B squad of the Bloodline.
Well, let's say this, right?
You can't tout John Cena as the greatest of all time to lose to the B squad of the Bloodline.
Yeah, but you're talking about how many pins has Cena took and it hasn't never hurt him.
I understand that, but this is.
I mean, it's a straight up tag match, right?
Yes.
So it could have a wonky finish. It may not. It can have a non-finish.
I think the only way that for me, well, no, because you can't pin LA Knight because that would hurt him.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't. It's weird because I was never a Cena guy. I was never a big like, but having him come back, and I think because Jimmy Uso, while funny, he just ain't it for me, man.
It's starting to get a little better.
And maybe it is. I didn't get to
because
catch
it's
all
more
of
comedic
tonight.
in your face. Like tonight, where if you were watching, like when the show opened up, little shit, right? And now, not even going by Jimmy, going by Jim Uso. He says, "I am him, Jim Uso." So like that wordplay, all right. But then even when they were walking out and Heyman started talking, and Jimmy made the face, like the weird face at the kid, and did this shit. Like he literally did that. Like, bro, like that type of stuff like that, that's different. So if those little nuances, and then Solo playing off of him, being all serious and stoic, like it goes so well. It's almost like.
And I would have to go back and watch tonight to really get a visual of that, because what I've seen up until now, it ain't it.
Nah, as I said, it was a little better tonight.
And then also having Paul pull Solo out of that initial brawl tonight, I'm like, you're still dividing.
You talking about the end of the show?
Yeah.
And even so, hats off to W2 for this too. They had Jay come out before Cody, and Jay went right to that side of the ring. And as soon as Jay's music hit, who dropped off the ring? Who dropped off the apron? Jimmy.
Yeah.
Now remember, they've been apart from each other for over a month now. That little subtle sell, you see what I'm saying? Like it's the Easter egg to pick up. Okay, we're gonna pick up from that, right? But that little nuance, the fact that they even found a way to get them in the same vicinity, and they haven't been doing anything with each other for over a month. I mean, as soon as Jay's music hit, Jimmy drops off the apron. And then what side does Jay go to? He goes to where Solo and Heyman is at. He's not in the feud with them, but he went to that side first. And Judgement Day, everybody who you actually about to wrestle with and go into battle with in less than 24 hours is on the right side of the screen, near side of the screen. You go to the far side. So it just that little stuff like that. But go back and rewatch that opening. Watch how Jimmy is way more carefree. What's up, Hove? Way more carefree while Solo is sitting there just very stoic. It reminded me of when Riddle was going crazy and then Randy was the serious one.
Right. And if that's the route you're going, that's fine, right? Because I ultimately ended up liking that. Again, man, I don't know. Because you're creating with the bloodline, and it's very evident when Roman is not around with Solo and Paul and Jimmy, they really feel like afterthoughts in a lot of things. You know,
it depends on if afterthoughts from the aspect of it depends on what level you want them to be at. Right, if you're looking at them at a level like one on the ladder, one rung below Roman, then yes. But if you're looking at them as obviously nowhere near the top, but also knowing at the same time, if you cross them, they always can go back and say, wait till I come back with my brother, or wait till I come back with my father. For them, they can say, wait till I come back with my Oos, wait till I come back with my cousin, wait till I come back with the tribal chief, and see if you got the same thing to say then. You see what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, they can go around and be the bullies of SmackDown, antagonizing everybody because they know they got the baddest dude on the block backing them up.
Yeah, but that would require Roman to actually back them up.
But remember, I'm trying to think. You remember the first ever Blade movie with Steven Dorff as the big bad? Remember the second?
God, that was so long ago.
The second and third dude underneath of him would go around at parties. He would be wilding out, whatever, because he knew he had Steven Dorff's character as the head vampire.
Right, and again, look, I get where you're going with it, but here's the big flaw for me.
Mm-hmm.
Roman is not that guy. Roman is not the guy that if Cena has a beef with Solo, Roman's not going to get involved.
Well, that's because it's Solo up to this point. It may not be that week, it may not be the following week, but best and believe all I's are going to get dotted and T's is going to get crossed next Friday when he comes back.
Next Friday, but I see next Friday him putting people in their place, and those people being Jimmy and Solo.
That's if they lose.
And I almost want, not because I want to see Cena and LA Knight win, I almost want them to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Because it then puts them in a position to have that reprimand from Roman, right? Roman is his best when he's talking shit about other people.
Right. That's so.
And more specifically, when he's talking shit about his family. You failed me, do better. Because to me, you want to go back to the good and evil.
Right.
That's a true evil villain. You never saw the Joker, oh, good job, Harley. No.
Always put Harley down.
Right. Even when she did well.
And she was always constantly looking for his approval.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
if that's the case, I think, so I'll take you one step further. If that's the case, if that's the route they go, Cena and LA win, Cena gets the pin, then Cena challenges him at Crown Jewel. Yes.
I'll adjust it a little bit differently. I like Cena getting the pin, right? I see Roman saying something to provoke Cena, right? Calling Cena, not calling him out, because that hasn't been Roman's MO. That's not hasn't been Roman's style.
Right, people was always coming to him.
Right, that's not going to be, Roman's not going to challenge somebody to a match. But he's going to put Cena down without Cena being standing there, which will draw Cena out later that night, the week later, whatever, to build to Crown Jewel.
Right, and that's all I think he has to do that is call himself the GOAT.
Right, but that's my point. Yeah. I don't think Cena's going to be the one to start that. Roman will.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Because then that plays into, right? You got your ass kicked. You went and told your cousin. Now your cousin's going to solve a problem. But what he's going to do is he's going to say, why did you let that scrawny bitch beat you up?
That old man
beat you up. And then Cena's going to go, what you mean, old man? And now we have a fight.
The old man with the jean shorts and the wristband.
And the bald spot.
I can see that too. But the only thing with that is we know Cena doesn't want to break Flair's record. So you go into a match knowing that he's not going to win. Obviously, but cool. You still want to see it. It's a Saudi crowd. I get that. You know what I mean? But it's just not believable.
I mean, I think they could get there without doing it for the title.
Yeah, they could.
I mean, there's a way to get there without doing it for the title. Because they could very easily do Cena and LA Knight, Roman again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roman and whoever didn't take the pin. So let's say Jimmy does take the pin from John Cena. Roman and Solo. Vice versa. If Solo takes the pin, Roman and Jimmy. Right? Yeah. I will take your place and show you how this is done. Because now you can have LA Knight kind of get that upper hand over Roman, and now you have something to build you into Survivor Series, TLC, Royal Rumble. You lay the groundwork for that. You let them get a little physical there.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we get to it. Okay. All right, let's run the Royal Billiards commercial. We'll come back. We'll do the rest of Fastlane, and we'll talk about some other stuff. So, all right, here we go. We'll be right back.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
And we're back. Good
fast
call.
Boy. Fast.
All right. We want to thank Royal Billiard for sponsoring this little preview and prediction. We got rocking and rowing. Yep. All right. So let's go into another match right now. Let's go Io Sky versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. Is it just me, or does this feel like we're literally just doing this to set up Jade's debut?
You set up Jade's debut if Charlotte wins. I think I'm more in the line of this is set up for Charlotte to get the title back.
Think so?
I kind of think so, but also at the same time, I know how much Trips believes in Io. Like, Io is somebody he truly vehemently supports, and with I can't say her name, with Kari coming back next month, Kari Sane coming back.
Is that confirmed?
It's damn near confirmed where she's coming back in November.
Okay.
So with her coming back, I can kind of see it, but yeah, I definitely think Jade makes an appearance. I definitely think they announce her in the crowd tomorrow. And then because this is the only women's match that's on the card, right?
Correct. Well, and that's where I was going to go with that. You know, Jade's not going to go up against Rhea off the rip.
Nope.
Right? It's going to be SmackDown. She's going to go to SmackDown. I could see her going after Charlotte. That's why I'm thinking Charlotte wins. Mm-hmm. Jade's theirs. Jade comes down. Jade won't get physical with her. Right. Jade will just confront her in the ring, because it'll get everybody talking.
Yeah. And then you'll see how, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Charlotte is a somewhat imposing figure, but she ain't no Jade.
Yeah, Jade gonna make her look a little tinier.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So the Latin World Order is supposed to be Rey Mysterio. It's supposed to be Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus Rey Mysterio. And insert names here.
No, I thought it was Bobby Lashley, Street Profits versus Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and wasn't it? Oh, so you know what? No, because that would have been 4.
It was supposed to be Rey, Joaquin, and Cruz del Toro.
Right.
But now those guys are out of the match, and I didn't get to finish watching the clip. This is saying that it's going to be Santos Escobar and somebody else. The rumors circulating right now are Carlito.
I think it's going to be Carlito.
I don't know if Santos is confirmed to be with him. Right?
Right.
Let's just go off for a second. If it's not Santos, I really do think the other one is Carlito.
Yes.
If it's not Santos, then who?
No idea. Who else can you do? Dragon Lee? He's hot. But I mean, if you're gonna change the audible this much, I think Carlito's one. I mean, I would just go with that. I would go with. But here's the thing: I'm waiting for the turn on Rey
from Santos.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, and if you bring in Carlito into this fold, then you can just say, all right, boom, here we go. Carlito's a new leader, quasi leader, or whatever else, and then you know what I mean. I can't do it.
They had when Ray won the title.
Mm-hmm.
They had the perfect opportunity during his first title defense, like the week later or whatever, for Santos to turn.
Yep.
Right. Zelina is going to be at ringside for this one, which is, I won't say uncommon, but she really hasn't been around for a lot of their matches at ringside. So that's why I do see something to shake up the landscape of the LWO.
Right.
Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura, last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Shin, all day. It's time. I mean,
this one's tough.
It's almost like you can book Seth to be a long-standing champ and be the anti-version of doing it with Roman as a face, just getting beat down and overcoming all odds all the time. But I don't know. I for some reason I think it's going to be Shin. And does he leave with the title?
See, that was my next question.
Yeah.
I don't think he does. I don't think if Nakamura does win, if they pull out this win and they pull the trigger on Nakamura, I don't think he leaves with the title. I think Damien cashes in. Yeah. It's the best time to do it, right? A last man standing match is brutal. It's rough on the body.
Yeah, especially you'll know better depending on where it ends at. If the last standing match ends in the ring or Shin's in the ring with the title, yes.
I think it will. They have not really done a lot of matches other than the Becky Trish match. They really haven't done a lot of matches where it doesn't end in the ring.
Yeah.
Especially when it's for a title like this.
Yeah.
All right, so this match will definitely end in the ring. I think it's the right time to take it off of Seth. He's had it for a little over 4 months now.
Did we pick a winner in the Profits and LWO match though?
Oh no, I don't think we did. I think Bobby and the Profits have to win this one.
Yes, have to. Yes.
And that's
I'm tired of them just being called Bobby and the Profits.
Well, and I think when they win this, that's where Bobby will turn around and go, okay, now we're going to be called, you guys are officially in the Hurt Business or whatever they're going to call themselves.
Business is good.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think it would be more satisfying for me if Seth wins and then Damien cashes in on him.
That could happen.
Because if Damien's going to come into this as a heel, right, you'll want him to cash in on the face so that he immediately has some credibility.
That's true. Yeah, and right. Shin really doesn't get hurt by it. I like the boat for Shin to carry the strap. That boat has sailed, and that they missed the boat when he won the Rumble. And then had him turn heel. That's Vince for you. And I just
don't even bring that up. I don't like talking about that.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I agree. I absolutely agree. I do think tomorrow is going to be a very, very exciting show. 5 matches on the card after, what they did with WrestleDream and everything. I think this is a solid way to answer that. Hey, we're going to give you 5 quality matches. All of them have major
spoiler confirmed.
What?
So PW Insider is reporting that that Carlito's return tomorrow will be official, as he will team up with Mysterio and Escobar.
Okay. So yeah, it'll be Carlito. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Who still looks like he's in tremendous shape.
Exactly. Before we get out of WWE, what the hell are they doing over at NXT?
They are trying to combat everything. that
like
AEW
everything.
But I mean, it kind of makes sense in a way, from a standpoint, like you have all this talent, and you just give everybody the rub, bro. You get a rub, you get a rub, you get a rub, you get a rub. Everybody, like it's just we have the talent. It's mostly going to be like Cody's working a Monday. Just hit Florida real quick, drive back up to Georgia, and do whatever. You got 2
I
or 3
think he
days
lives in
off.
Florida now.
He lives in Florida now.
I think so. He's
So
always
I think his but he's just there to do an announcement, right? Which I think has to do around with the Dusty Rhodes tournament. I'm pretty sure, probably.
I wouldn't surprise me if he has something to do with the Dusty Road. This is going to be so selfish and so stupid. I want to see, and this would make so much more sense now. I want to see him enter the Dusty Classic and win.
But that's a tag team. It's not
right.
a single. Who's going to be his partner?
Jay.
So if they do that as the tag team champions, that means more.
Right. Right.
And then,
because
honestly,
because then that's a callback to when Balor and Samoa Joe won it the first year.
Yeah. So that's why, and I also think that bodes true. If the night tomorrow night goes that route, Damien and Finn lose the titles. Cody and Jay are the champions. Cody and Jay are Tuesday. Damien has to cash in my opinion, at that point. They can keep Judgment Day somewhat stay afloat. And then Monday night, you lead into what Damien being so over the moon. He's happy as shit. I'm the world heavyweight champion. You lost the tag titles, though. How do you still feel like a winner? It's unfinished business from Rhea. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay. I got you. All right.
Yeah. So, but you have Cena going over to NXT. You have Paul Heyman going over to NXT. Right, which I think is going to help further. That's like you're saying, that Cena Roman story. Who else? Asuka going to NXT, and it's all on the same night where Dynamite's going to be on Tuesday as well.
Okay.
You're putting a lot of eggs in this basket. It's a ballsy move.
So Heyman's in the corner, Cena's in the corner, Asuka's wrestling, and Cody's making an announcement.
Yep. On a 2-hour show.
It's going to be action-packed, brother.
And I'm not going to see it.
Because you'll be in Disney.
At that time, I'll probably be on a boat.
I was going to say, aren't you like, how far is Izzy from where the Performance Center is?
Not that far. Don't think I haven't thought about it. But I have a fireworks cruise that night.
If you got tickets to go to that show,
I would absolutely go. 100%.
Fuck them fireworks.
100% I would go. Because it's the one show I haven't seen, and I would want to see it in the NXT arena.
Right.
Robert's saying Undertaker at NXT too.
I just read something about, like, they kind of teased that. But you know what, though? It is season premiere week for them. Remember, they're touting next Friday being the season premiere of SmackDown. I don't know if they mean that's the season premiere for
a lot of
all
SB Nation, Cage Side Seats, Wrestle Talk. Other people are saying,
dude, you might as well try to get tickets to that show, bro.
Oh, like that. Damn it. I will be glued to my phone. Like I'm going to my parents' house in the morning before we roll out. I will make sure that
they live in Florida.
No, they live in Houston here.
Okay.
But my stepmom picked up a couple of things for me because I worked all week.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna stop by there before I roll out. And I have her Xfinity on my iPad, but I got logged out. Okay, so I'm gonna get to Robert's comment. I got logged out on my phone. I will watch that on the boat for the fireworks cruise. I will watch all of NXT. I don't care.
Are you driving to Florida?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm actually swapping with my friend when Fastlane comes on tomorrow, so I can watch Fastlane.
Okay. How long?
Robert says 14 hours. Robert says they played the gong at the end of NXT commercial. Okay, so right before I went on the air, right, because you were a little late, I actually like watching some of these shows on TikTok now because these guys will post their reactions to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally turned it off and said, screw it, I'm going to go live. I didn't finish that one. So, okay. That makes more sense now. All righty. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's start talking about, we're going to.
Is that the full card for Fastlane?
Yeah.
Okay. The complete opposite of what AEW does.
100%. Like, Fastlane and NXT aren't even enough matches to reach WrestleDream.
Nope.
Speaking of NXT, though, what did you think? Did you get a chance to watch the whole thing?
No Mercy? Or no? Yeah.
No Mercy.
I loved it. It was like, it was probably, I'll say it, screw it. It was since NXT 2.0, that was probably the PLE that felt most like a takeover, like an OG NXT takeover. From how the crowd was, how each match was, even the Corbin Breaker match, people were invested.
My buddy Tony, his dad was in town last week, and we've never met his dad. You know, he's the guy Tony and Lauren are getting married in February. And I'm in the wedding, this, that, and the other thing. So his dad wanted to meet everybody, so they were over the house. I had NXT playing while we were doing a bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched start to finish the Braun Breaker Baron Corbin match because I was so invested.
Yes.
It was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have been paying more attention during the Trick Williams Dominic match. I missed the actual pin. Okay. I've since gone back and watched it, but I wish I would have seen it then and there. I didn't like the family winning.
No, that's probably the one outcome I was not a fan of. I kind of can see it, but when they started selling Tony's knee to the point to where you were questioning if it was legit or not, you kind of knew, like, okay, he's coming back in, they're going to hit something, and like he's going to make an appearance. I didn't think it would be for the win, just because it's almost like I feel like they look at the Creed brothers as being so good, they don't need the titles to a point.
See, and I don't disagree. They are really, really good, and I don't think they need the titles. I think they've earned the titles. And I think I lost Pete. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. Just off screen.
I think they've earned the titles. These are somebody to where now you put them on them because they've earned it. They've paid their dues. They've beaten everybody. They've gone against everybody. They've done everything, right? I think it's 100% time to put the titles on the Creed brothers, even if it's for a short while, right? Hey guys, we appreciate all the hard work and all the here's just some validation for you, right? To say you were, a tag team champion. You're muted.
Even the first run was short-lived, honestly.
I don't even remember the first run.
They had them, but it was very, so you had, was it the family, Creeds, Out the Mud,
Angel and Garza, Angel and Humberto,
the Latin Wolves, right?
So stupid. And OTM.
OTM reminds me of Doom. Reminds me of Harlem Heat, Doom. Two big ass dudes like that should not be doing the jump over the ropes to get in the ring.
Yep.
Like, it's just like, yo, these dudes, once they get it, they have the look, and it's like they're different. They're very similar in size, but obviously the one who wears the long pants, I don't know his name, just way more aggressive. The dude who wears the shorts, just way more. Like I said, it really literally reminds me of Booker T and Stevie Ray.
Yeah.
So that is it. How many ounces does that cup hold?
Half a gallon.
And what do you have in there?
Water.
Good job, sir. Good on you.
And so my rule of thumb with this is, like, if it's noon, I may put tea in there, and that'll rock me all day long.
Right.
But typically on like show nights or whatever, it's full of water, and I try to kill most of it before I get off the air.
Okay.
Good
on you.
Thank you. Noam Dar versus Butch. It went exactly how you laid it out too. I was watching it, and because I was on my phone, so I couldn't just message you, and I was like, I'm watching this. I'm like, damn it, Pete was 100% right.
Not on the Gallus part, but yeah, like
the Gallus part surprised me, and then what happened? Guess who shows up to help out on Tuesday with Gallus?
Oh no, Rich.
Exactly.
Walking Nia Jax.
We called this one pretty close. We didn't have Gallus,
right?
But we called this one pretty close. There is a new NXT champion.
I still don't know how I feel about this.
It's a week later, man. Get your shit together.
I don't, because I feel like Melo's run wasn't stale.
No.
I feel like I can kind of get it from Ilya's perspective and give him a run. Ultimately, what I end up thinking, what happened after what happened this past Tuesday, I definitely think what's going to happen now is Trick is going to turn.
I do too. And I like the moment that they had after Trick won the title. Right? They made a point to have them both back there showcasing the gold, everything like that. I like that. And then I've listened to it about 4 or 5 times. Mm-hmm. At the end of the show, after Becky beats Tiff, right? They cut back to Melo and Trick. What do they say to each other?
I don't remember what they said. I couldn't make it up. I just remember Melo looking at the NXT title as if I don't have. But now neither one of them have it. Neither one of them have it. They're back to where they started.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're back to where they started. So, but Melo obviously is in a higher position because he's had the NXT title, and hence why now I think why Trick turns is because Melo's not turning out. He fucking has Cena by like he's getting the rub from Cena, the all-time ultimate babyface.
Yeah, why do you need Cena when you have me?
Right, or and it's just going to fester into jealousy. But what make it worse is, and honestly, not because I don't think it's a step back for Melo because of the title itself, but I actually think it may be a step forward is if he's the one who takes the title off of Dom now.
If Melo does it?
Yeah.
I can see that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
What did you think of Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton? Muted. You are not saying a damn word. There you go.
There you go. It's something's weird. I don't know what's going on with my mic. If you go back and look at Tiff's ring work just from earlier this year, it's 4 months ago, and you go look at the match that she had, even the one where she won with where she took the title from Valkyria, right?
Yeah.
And look at what she did against, who did she defend it against? At the previous PLE, and she won.
Let's take a look. I have it up here.
Thea was a Thea. That match.
Yeah,
was
Thea.
Good. That match was banger. The first Becky match was a bang, and then this one here, bro. Listen, this was on to close out an NXT PLE. This was on the like this gave me that Sasha Bailey vibes. This gave me that Bailey Asuka vibes. That's how good this match was. Like this,
it was really good.
It could have been on any card. You could have did this at any of the 4 big pay-per-views, and it would have been good. So
they went 20 minutes and they did not disappoint.
Did not disappoint. And Tiff can hang, man. Like to me, she solidified herself. Okay, I don't want to see her in NXT no more, unless it's just to take the title off of Becky. But to me now, she Raw can use her so much.
The only
Rhea
thing
doesn't have anybody
nobody.
on Raw. I mean, now you got Raquel, you got Nia, you got all that, but they've been keeping Rhea and Becky so far apart.
Yep.
for whatever reason, and it makes sense to keep it far apart. But SmackDown, Io has so many that she can, between Charlotte, between Asuka, the inner division, but Bailey, and then with Dakota, whatever's going on with her ultimately. Rhea doesn't have that on Raw. Now, I know it's going to be hard for Tiff to get over as a babyface, but they need something. Like, Raw definitely needs an influx of face women's talent. Credible face women's talent. They
only thing I didn't like about this match is when they brought out the Barbie dolls. Right? I'm not going to lie to you. The sick, twisted part of my brain said, oh, you're going to do thumbtacks.
Right.
Or like Legos, right? I'd have been okay with Legos.
Barbie dolls,
bringing out Barbie dolls, I was like, nah, that ain't it, man. And was it just me, or did the barbed wire baseball bat look really fake?
It did look really fake. And I'm like, you think Tiff is about to eat this? No, I don't see that happening.
Yeah. But no, Tiffany, and I said it a few weeks ago. I think it was when after the match against Thea Hall. Tiffany Stratton is a future foundation of the women's division.
Yeah.
They have all the right makings for it.
I mean, the look. I mean, she does have Nasatol. If you know, you know. If you're still trying to figure it out in your head,
a little bit. I let me put it this way. I think I know.
Just
because right, I ain't blind.
I'll go like this.
Yeah. All right. So we're on the same page.
Yeah. But overall, as mic work, personality, and then more importantly, how she can go in the ring. Full
like
package.
She has people saying that they want to reach to the tiffy top.
Yeah. Bro, and the moonsault, bro. Like
that moonsault. That is a beautiful moonsault.
It's a lot of athletic women right now in WWE. I don't know if there's anyone else that can pull that off in that transition 18 minutes into a match.
Not at all.
I mean, Bianca, EST, whatever you want to call her, she ain't doing that.
No shot.
And you could listen, I hate this move. Charlotte did it tonight. That forward tumble that Charlotte does with her little basic gymnastic background and what Tiff does with her tumbling, two different worlds, alpha and omega. Because visually, we talked about I know we talked about this with the BFT last week. When Charlotte does that tumble, all her weight is set back, and then she has to go forward. It's not like it's one singular motion, right? Where Tiff, she's just going and going, and it's different.
It looks
cleaner. It looks a lot cleaner. And she's similar to Charlotte in her look, but different from. I'm trying to think. I don't know who they've had that's feels like it's their privilege to be it's their right to be the champion. This is who I am. I'm the best. I want to go to the tippy top. I deserve the title just because of who I am.
Yeah.
Just because of who my daddy is, I can do whatever I want. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm entitled.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but Raw desperately needs somebody like her.
Oh,
because Maxine is visual. Okay, she has a presence, but she's not doing nothing in the ring. You can't just I don't want to see Rhea versus Nat for the 100th time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, I don't want to spend too much time on, the hell is it called? WrestleDream, because it was disappointing.
Did you go to the theater?
No, I didn't even watch it. I didn't even acknowledge its existence.
Acknowledge it.
So, but let's talk about the big thing coming out of. I gotta plug this thing in.
Talk about the rated R superstar Adam Copeland?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit.
I see Brian Daly. What's up, Dale's Hockey Happy Hour host and all around A2D.
Good guy.
Lifer. OG. He's an OG as well. OGBD. I think anybody who's been here for more than 2.5, 3 years should have an OG in their handle.
I'll take that.
What are you doing?
I gotta plug this thing in. It's dying.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And I realized that all my normal spots are taken up, so I have the incredibly long cord that Butters and I use when we sit at the other table over here. So I was just like, yeah, let's plug it in there.
Yeah, the Darby, I don't know why Darby suits himself to so much punishment. Christian can still go, but it's just, it was almost like, even the way they did it, it was cool to hit this. It still feels, I'm indifferent because I felt like he would be a lifer in WWE. But once again, I think wrestling is at its peak, at a peak it hasn't seen since late 90s, early 2000s, where the business is good all across the board. We'll have to see.
I think to celebrate 25 years or whatever it was, or 20 years, right, with one company, and then you're like, you know what, I want to go dip my feet in different water.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you guys, half of my life, right? It's respectable, right? I would have loved to see him just hang him up and walk away as a WWE guy, and that. But it was almost inevitable seeing him come over to AEW. I thought the car bit in the beginning was stupid.
Yeah, because we never seen him do anything with cars before, and truth be told, he may have always been into cars. It's just that we never seen that before. You know what I mean? From him in WWE on that platform.
Well, maybe it's a callback to, like, if you go back to his very, very first intro, he was like weaving in and out of cars and stuff like that, in like alleys, and it was a dumbass intro,
right?
But I mean, maybe that's a callback to that. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. It definitely could be. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult because the way this went down, and you immediately get to the heat between him and Christian, and even on Wednesday night,
did you catch him call him Jay?
He called him Jay.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I feel like the pop would have been crazier if Christian was getting beat down and he came to save Christian.
Well, but you didn't know what Edge was going to do.
No. But, I mean, you think he returned and turned heel?
You never know with that. I mean,
that's true.
You gotta be
He's
honest,
always been unpredictable.
And he made his career off of being a heel.
Yes.
Right? So it was very, very possible that he could have done that, number one. Number two, I think him attacking Christian is what people wanted to see. And then Christian saying on Wednesday, go fuck yourself. Which, by the way, I have that as a clip. The 4-second unedited clip. It's beautiful.
Right.
But I think to see that play out, we're getting something we never really got before.
Right.
We never got a true Edge versus Christian when it was believable that
they were on the somewhat same level.
Yeah, now they are, which is weird to say. I don't think they're on the exact same level. Christian's still a couple rungs below.
Right.
But it's at least a little bit more believable now.
I agree.
So I think we'll see a lot in the weeks to come. We've got Full Gear on the horizon. I think it's only a few weeks away.
Is it after Survivor Series or before?
Let's take a look.
I think it may be after.
It's November 18th. It's before Survivor Series. Survivor Series is the week.
The
25th.
25th.
Yeah. Full Gear is the 18th.
So they're both on Sundays or Saturdays?
Saturdays.
Okay.
So
Saturdays are love, man. Like, especially for PLEs. Because you get all day the next day to kind of, you don't have to go to work. Most people don't have to go to work. You can kind of absorb all that in.
Yep.
That's why I said, to me, honestly, I think the Super Bowl should be moved to a Saturday.
It would make Saturday TV watchable.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But they won't because you have NFL Sundays.
No, that's what I said. No, I said I'm talking about the Super Bowl.
But because you've trained us for 50 plus years.
That's true.
For Super Bowl Sunday, right? You'll never do that. But I have nothing else to take away from WrestleDream. Like,
no, it's just now. I don't know why they kept the ROH tag titles on MJF. I don't know how that story.
Way to bury those guys.
Exactly, who were getting traction, being the righteous. Is his contract legit up? 1124.
I think so.
If that's the case, then they need to figure out quick.
I think they're gonna hold on to the concept of we can re-sign him.
I'm surprised that they don't have any form of a money in the bank. What do they call it in TNA when they do like the contract?
X Division.
Not so much that they do the other one, Feast or Fire. Like I'm surprised.
Well,
they used to do the
they have that Joker's Wild Battle Royale.
Did they do that this year?
I didn't see it this year.
Something like that, because I mean, it's just.
Well, wait. I thought that's what MJ. When did MJF win the title?
He won it almost a year ago.
Okay.
I think he was the last one to win the Joker's Wild. He won it. They love doing those BS tournaments or battle royals or whatever else like that. But I don't know, man.
I don't know either. I got nothing else. I'm in vacation mode already. If you haven't figured that out yet.
No, I mean, I really don't have anything else. I mean, about to watch low key probably after we get done doing this for a little bit.
What? So Eagles.
I was gonna say, you're gonna ask me an Eagles question.
Right? I am gonna ask you. Eagles Commanders goes to overtime.
Yep.
Thoughts on that? This is the closest victory by the Eagles. They barely sneak it out.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to overtime. First overtime game for them of the year. How are you feeling coming off of that?
Division game. Don't take. You can only chalk it up to that. Nobody knows you as well as the teams in your own division. Divisional game. Played a little bit different coverage. They probably caught you off guard. They did something different because they get paid too on the other side. The game playing against your weaknesses, right? And try to take advantage of it. So, but kudos, hats off to the Eagles. They really did something to where they're winning these games and they're not playing their best.
No.
And it doesn't get theoretically, it really doesn't get any easier Sunday. So
against the Rams.
But you see what happened with the Commanders last night. They took the Bears for granted, and they got their ass lit up.
Banged.
Yeah.
They got absolutely demolished. But you know what, though? After the passing of Dick Butkus, good on the Bears for actually going out there and reminding everybody, hey, we're the Bears.
Yeah.
Are you nervous going into Sunday?
No, I won't be nervous about any game this early in the season. I'm nervous for injuries. Yeah. I don't need
your concern hasn't faltered.
Yeah, I don't need them to be undefeated because it's still the first half of the season. From what I'm seeing improvement every week. I'm surprised by the defense, especially the linebacker play. We can't take any more injuries in the secondary, and that was Jalen's best game throwing the football. And we already know we can run the ball when we want to.
Right.
So it's kind of putting all together. But like I said, you don't want your team peaking at this time of the year. You want to, if you're able to pick apart your team and you're doing it in a win, and you're still winning with your B game, sometimes your C game, that's a very good problem to have.
Fair enough. Phillies are going into the NLDS.
Oh yeah, NLDS.
I said NLDS.
It starts tomorrow. You did say NLDS?
Yes, because the NLCS is after this.
Yes. Okay. My bad, sir.
That's all good. You learn a few things after a while.
I think it's you finally paying attention. It's the late game. I think they play late tomorrow, but it's one of my best friends. Shout out to you, Scott, a brother from another mother, man. He is a diehard Braves fan. So we are on. We're not talking right now. We did the same.
How do you feel after the sweep? Sweep of Miami.
I feel like it was expected. I feel
was it big?
No, because now here's the thing. Now, could you say the same thing I just said about the Eagles? We could say about the Phillies. They're peaking. I haven't seen them play that well. I haven't seen them pitch that well, probably in a while. So
how important is it to get the, especially that wild card series? How important was it to get out of that?
In two?
In two.
Oh, that from that standpoint, it's definitely important to get out of it in two. I think it's imperative they have to win one of two games this weekend.
And they're in Atlanta, aren't they?
They're in Atlanta. Win one of two, then you get here, and they have the most raucous home field advantage in baseball that I've seen. It's almost football-like right now. Like it's almost to the point where I've gone to playoff games. I went during the 08 run, went in 09. It wasn't like that. This is different.
Well, and I think it's different because look at basketball's not back yet, hockey's not back yet. The only two sports that are back are football and baseball. And we're one of the few cities that are doing well across the board. We might be, dare I say, the only city.
But it's also a new generation of fan and who just doesn't give a care. It's like the COVID babies. They just don't care. These fans now in this generation, bro, it's different. It's stand up from first inning all the way through the end of the game. Make as much noise as you can. Sea of red. It's just I've heard it. You go find stories like players are saying like, I don't want to play in Philly, especially if you're in the outfield and you're the visiting team. It's not like football. It's not like basketball, where basketball you're constantly moving. In the outfield of baseball, you could be sitting out there a long enough time to count to 100 if the ball doesn't come your way, and the fans are within earshot, and they're going to heckle you. Yes, they will let you know, like, we are not to be played with.
Exactly. So Raymond says, I want to see new rivalries. I'm sick of seeing JD against the same people all the time, like the New Day or the Viking Raiders, referring to Judgment Day.
Well, it's the Viking Raider right now because Eric is out for at least 6 months. With the New Day, I don't know what they're going to do now. I thought they were going to that part where they were going to do Drew kind of still running through them, and then Big E makes a save. I don't know what's going on with E. I don't know if it's his choice, if it's health wise, but I think he's like.
I think he's done.
I think the longer and longer he's out, he's transitioning more to that Titus role, being an ambassador for WWE, which is a fucking shame. But I mean, he's able to walk, live his life, and he's always been humble. I think the thing I miss most from the New Day, this is going to sound very selfish of me, has nothing to do with wrestling. I missed having an actual live podcast from them. I don't know why they're not doing it anymore. I know
they're not. So I've been behind. They're not doing the New Day pod?
Bro, they haven't been doing it for like a year. Everything is a best of.
Wow.
For the last year. And I think they stopped when, and I don't know if it was between Vince and when that memorandum came down about the whole Twitch shit.
Yeah.
That's when it stopped.
Interesting.
And Xavier was having up, down, down, but even that, I think WWE has a hand in that pot a little bit.
I think so.
Somewhat. So it's very, very odd. But yeah, man, like they haven't done like an actual new topic in a while. Raymond Rivera says prediction for Survivor Series is War Games and Bloodline versus. I don't know where the other two members of Bloodline are coming from though.
I think we'll see. Well, and I kind of teased that earlier too, if you remember, right? I think we'll see that play out over the next few weeks. But let's wrap up. Let's get out of here. I have to pack still, so.
So I got you. So Alan Z Travel, shout out to them. Alan Z Travel specializes in creating vacation of your dreams at Disney Universal, wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts create a custom vacation for you. Alan Z over to alanztravel.com/take the trip. I say it better to him every time, and I actually got to say it in front of him to his face. Second fiddle
Well, it's AllenZ-Travel.com.
Dash Travel. I'm sorry. AllenZ-Travel or hyphen if you are older than 35 years old and you don't know what dash means. But yeah, man, shout out to Alan Z. Andy's taking advantage of his own services. Safe travels for you. Go Birds. Fastlane tomorrow night. But if any chance, if it rains on Tuesday, get your ass over to the NXT. I want to see you on screen. I don't know how many people the venue holds, but God, I would love to be at the show like that with that much talent walking through that door and that intimate setting like that.
Oh, bro. Yeah, dude. But all right, guys. Butters and Pete will be on next week with Fastlane recaps. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Until then, tell somebody you love them. Peace, love, and joy. We're out.